Hello mathematicians, it is another great day to learn some math. Today we are going to be covering section 1.4 about order of operations. Now hopefully this kind of makes sense. You did learn some of this last year. Many of you have heard the phrase, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." Okay? That is a way for us to help remember our order of operations, or you might have heard it just called PEMDAS. The order of operations are a set of rules that tell us how we solve problems. We have to go through this set of rules in order to get the correct answer. The first thing we do is we do the P, which stands for parentheses. Okay? Parentheses may look like these, they may look like these, or they may be a fraction bar with something on top, something on bottom. You must do what's on top and then what's on bottom. Once we do the parentheses, we move on to exponents, which we just talked about. All right, so you have to do exponents next. Following that, we do multiplication and division. And the reason I have these circled together is because they go together. You must do multiply, divide, left to right. All right, so whichever one of the two comes first, when you move left to right, that's the one you do. So sometimes you may end up dividing before the multiplication. When all of that is done, we get to the A and the S, which is add and subtract. Again, they are circled, so they go together, left to right. So whichever one comes first when you go left to right. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or PEMDAS will help you remember the order. So let's try one of these together. All right? Let's make sure we write down our order of operations to help us. So the first thing we need to do is parentheses, and we have a set of parentheses. So we are going to do 8 plus 2 first and get 10. We're going to bring everything else down. Now, this is not 210. If you have a number next to a parenthesis, there is a secret multiplication in between. So this is actually 2 times 10. Not 210, 2 times 10. Make sure you put in that secret multiplication. So we've done our parentheses. There are no exponents. So next we need to do multiplication and division left to right. And we have one multiplication. Bring down our 27. We've done that. Lastly, add or subtract. 27 minus 20 is 7. Try this next one on your own for me. Try this one on your own. Now that you've had some time to work on this, let's check it together. Okay, first thing we're going to do is parentheses, and we have two sets of parentheses. 30 plus 2, and 2 times 4. Now remember, this is not 38. We have a number next to a parenthesis, so there's a secret times. So there's a times in between the 3 and the 8. We have no exponents, so we're going to multiply or divide next. 3 times 8 is 24. 32 minus 24 gives us 8. Check yours. Hopefully that's what you got. Okay. Let's move on. Let's try this one together. First thing we're going to do is our parentheses. We have no parentheses, so we move on to our exponents. And we have an exponent. Now remember, 5 squared means I'm going to write 5 twice. 5 times 5 is 25. Bring everything else down. And our exponents are done. Multiply, divide, left to right. So I get multiplication right away. 4 times 25 is 100. Bring everything else down. We're all done with the multiplication division. Lastly, we have add or subtract, left to right. So if I do left to right, I get 100 minus 6 first. It is okay to subtract if it comes before the addition left to right. So 100 minus 6 is 94, plus 4, 98. And here is our last one that we can do together. Remember our order of operations. Parentheses, there are none. Exponents, we have them. 3 squared. Remember, 3 squared is 3 times 3, or 9. Bring everything else down. Exponents, we finished. Now multiply, divide, left to right. So when I go left to right, I get divide first. 21 divided by 3 is 7. Bring everything else down. I still have multiplication left. So left to right, 16. And lastly, add or subtract, left to right. So I'm going to subtract first. 9 minus 7 is 2. Now I add and get 18. Awesome job! Your homework tonight is out of your book, page 40, number 10 through 25.